So one of the things that's happened in the Myaamia Center here more recently is we've developed a piece of software with the help of the National Endowment for the Humanities back in 2012, because we had such a massive amount of language materials and we had no way to archive them, organize them, and to really make the content retrievable to us. And so MIDA was born out of that, the Miami, Illinois Digital Archive. Well, one of the things that MIDA has allowed us to do for the first time is really begin to go in and extract out information, especially information, linguistic information and cultural information and historical information from the period of contact all the way back to the 1600s. So we're really starting to uncover some really fascinating little tidbits of information. And one individual that's central to that project for us is Mr. Michael McCafferty. And Mr. Michael McCafferty comes from Indiana University. He holds a degree, a master's degree in linguistics, but he really specializes in Old World French. And so a lot of those early documents, of course, are written in French in Miami, Illinois. So he's been key in helping us. And I asked Michael if he wouldn't come and share some of the little interesting tidbits that he's starting to find in these old materials. So will you all welcome Mr. McCafferty?
Okay, thanks. Myaamiaki. Kitarami naningoti. Thanks for everybody, each one of you, coming today. Let's see, where are we? Okay. We'll go here first. Oh, in the closing years of the 1600s and in the opening years of the 1700s, two French Jesuit missionary priests and a Jesuit yeoman, a Jesuit brother, working with the WIA at Chicago, what is now Chicago, and with the Illinois in various places in what is now the state of Illinois, wrote 3 dictionaries, rather large dictionaries. And these people were Pierre-François Pinet. He worked with the WIA at Chicago and also with the Kaskaskia at what is now St. Louis. I guess I have it here. Jacques Lagillier, he worked with nearly every group of Miami and Illinois speakers. And he did his work, as you can see, between after 1690 and before 1715. And Jean Le Boulanger soon after 1719. These are not simply dictionaries. You just don't go see, it's not simply a word like I run, you run, he has a canoe, they have a canoe. These are vast cultural reservoirs. They hold cultural treasures like you would not believe. And let's see, what am I supposed to tell you now? My job, along with Carol Katz, has been to translate the French in these dictionaries to English. And also, her job, of course, was, in addition to helping me translate the dictionaries, she also transcribed every one of them. And that's an amazing, almost unbelievable accomplishment. But what it allows us to do, both Carol and me to do, is to read every line in the dictionary. We've read all these dictionaries, or we are in the process of reading all of them. And we can see what they contain. And one thing that they do contain in enormous amounts, especially the Lagillier dictionary, are symbolic language and metaphors. Today, I want to just scratch the surface of these metaphors and the symbolic language. And if I can figure out how to do this, okay. I'm going to scratch the surface, but you can go to this website and type in any of these words, metaphor in French, or metaphorise in Latin, and these things will come up. And there are scores of them. These, there may be hundreds of them. I don't know yet how many there are. But they could really form a basis for a doctoral thesis or a master's thesis or more than one dissertation. There's a lot here. Let's see. I'm usually the person behind the scenes. This is a really rare experience for me talking. Okay. So let's see if I can do it. Okay. Let's look at metaphor. Metaphor is a figure of speech literally denoting one kind of idea that is used in place of another to express some kind of likeness or analogy. Now, sometimes when I talk to David Costa, we write emails a lot to each other, and I ask him how he's doing. He often says, "I've got a lot on my plate." In fact, he said that to me this morning. "I've got a lot on my plate." Well, he doesn't really mean he's getting ready to read or eat a large meal, right? He means that, oops, not yet. He means that he has a lot of projects going. He's very busy, right? That's an example of a metaphor. I've got a lot on my plate. And as you know, English has millions of metaphors, and the Miami, Illinois people had their metaphors too. And I want to look at those today with you. Start out looking at those. Let's look at this one. At the top is the way the French person transcribed the word, and then next to it is the translation, Je lui tord le col. And the French translation is, I twist his neck. Okay, now, some metaphors you find are a lot like the ones we see in English. The English metaphor, I twist his arm, is a lot like this one. In this metaphor translates to, let's see, exactly, I finally get something from him. I get something from him, right? And when you twist somebody's arm, that means you're trying to get them to do something for you. So some metaphors that you find in the dictionary are a lot like English metaphors. You can understand them right away. Some metaphors are not quite like that. They're a little more obscure, but you can understand them. Here's one. The French says qui a pris racine, and that which has taken root. The Miami word is machichipikapita. He bad root sits. And this may not be clear right away, but it means he's lazy. He sits like a bad root. Okay. And he has, in the French, of course, he has taken root. You know, he doesn't do anything, doesn't move around. Some are completely, or rather quite obscure. Let's take this one. Je me sèche, je suis sec. I dry myself, I am dry. Illinois, Miami, Illinois, ni passi. What's that? I want something that he has. I'm dry. My mouth is dry, my skin is dry, something. I want what he has. That's the metaphor. Ni passi. I want something that he wants. I want something that he has. And some metaphors are completely, I know. Je chatouille au nez, I tickle him on the nose. What do you think that is? Ni kishiki korewa. I get it from him with difficulty. it's hard to connect that idea with tickling somebody on the nose. Now, maybe you see it. Maybe you can see it, but that's something that is totally obscure to me. I don't know. Your ancestors were witty people and sometimes given to sarcasm. And there's, oh, right? Still. Okay, here's one. Prends une hache, dit-on à celui qui frappe fort. Someone who's smashing on your door, rapping on your door, you say, get an axe. Takakanya, you roll. Hey, get an axe. You know? I love that one when I saw it. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, I think this is really interesting. Okay, here's a chaussée de castor. That's a beaver dam, right? Miami and Pekwa, Akipi Nakani, literally his beaver, his dam. And then you have a metaphor based on beaver dam. Fâché, sourcils hérissés. Upset, raised eyebrows. He makes a beaver dam face. Mekwa, okay, akipina kakingwewa, okay. There's the beaver dam. Here's this beaver dam face. I think that's a beautiful metaphor. The way the face is twisted, the eyebrows are raised, and one of our favorite actors. Right? Okay. Let's see, what's next? Oh, I like this one. Il porte la bouche de côté et d'autre. He carries his mouth to one side and another. Epachiatuni. His mouth this way and that way. What do you think it means? His mouth is this way and that way. Okay. Oh, let's see. I'll give you the answer. The French says he makes false reports. He'll tell you this thing, he'll tell you that thing. His mouth is this side and that side. She agrees. Let's see. Here's one. Il a les yeux morts. His eyes are dead. Ni puara kingwewa. I think if I'm correct, I have a little asterisk next to this, but I think the analysis is this: he has dead whole eyes. The warak is whole, nip is dead. Okay, and that means he's modest. He's modest. Somebody who has dead whole eyes, whose eyes are dead, is modest. They're not like, you know, they're. This is a reservation in the spirit. Somebody's reserved. That's an interesting one. I mean, it's kind of macabre maybe, but it's definitely, it's somebody who doesn't express themselves through their eyes. You know, they're modest, okay? Let's see what is next. You can understand this one. Loup enragé qui attaque tout, okay? The French says enraged wolf that attacks everything. Okay, the wolf is enraged. It refers to a man who is argumentative, who's ready to argue about anything, who's looking for an argument. An enraged wolf. Again, I don't think this word, we know this word, kiamwa, but kiamwi uni is fury, mania, rage, as you can see. And I think either that's a long A or a short A for kiamwa, kiama mahuewa. The wolf is enraged. Let's see. Oh, I think this is beautiful. One of the, Father Le Boulanger shows that the power of giving one's word among the old Miami, Illinois peoples, he shows this power of just giving one's word when he says, you promised, okay? And he translates that with, you said it. If you say it, you promised, right? So, iyamba, you said it. That's, I promise, you promised. I think that's a beautiful one. Symbolic language among the Miami, historic Miami and Illinois extended to human abilities. Okay, so here we have, il va extrêmement vite, okay? He goes extremely fast. And areni akikiwi tuki kamsiwa. So, as you know, it means he. Oops, sorry. As if he does not touch the ground with his body or with his feet. It's beautiful. A related metaphor comes from this word, kichitamwi. It flows big, a word for rapids, or rapid, right? Here's a nice picture of a rapid. And then we have the verb, or the metaphor, I am fast, right? Nikichitan, I flow big, like rapids. I can run like a rapid. Nikichitan. As many of you know, giving presents and receiving presents has been an important aspect of Miami and Illinois culture. And there are almost countless expressions and metaphors in the dictionary that relate to gift giving. I think more than anything, gift giving appears in metaphors more than any other kind of idea. This one's interesting. Je le mords, French is je le mords, I bite him. I bite him. It has to do with gift giving. And it means, here it is. Wait, maybe, hold on, let me go back here. Yeah. So here's the French, I do not pay him for his present. That's what it means, I bite him. I do not pay him for his present. And the Miami is nitara mama, I intensively mouth him. Okay, I put my mouth on him intensively. That means I don't pay him for what he's given me. I think that's interesting. Let's see. I think I'd like to move now from metaphors to other symbolic language. What I've done today is actually just briefly looked in these dictionaries, scraped out a few examples and given to you. So I really encourage you to go to that website and look for them on your own if you're interested. I think you'll be really amazed. Thunder is a lot of what you find in the dictionaries is natural or native beliefs, native belief system. And here we have a person, this is the way you talk to thunder. You call thunder grandfather. Maybe you know that already, but it surprised me. I was happy to see that. So Mesha, grandfather, that's your way of talking to thunder. Also in the dictionary, there are a lot of words about body decorations, or the lack of body decorations. Here's one, qui n'a pas l'oreille percée, so one who does not have a pierced ear. Pukishi sukwe, so no hole in ear woman. So if you don't have a pierced ear, pukishi sukwe, okay? Another one is even even dangerous, a dangerous kind of. I see it as dangerous. Geologists would too, probably. Here's a sinipi, black earth that they smudge themselves with. Terre noire dont ils se barbouillent. So black earth that they smudge themselves with, lead. So they're taking lead and painting their faces and painting their bodies with lead. A little dangerous. Huh? There are also a lot of natural analogies. And here are a couple of beautiful ones, I think. Bouillons qui viennent sur l'eau d'un castor au fond et entre deux eaux. Bubbles that rise in the water from, for example, a beaver at the bottom or right under the surface of the water. And they call these people, your language, arangwaki, these stars. The bubbles flowing up are called stars. Right? And I know another language besides French called Nahuatl. It's a Mexican Indian native language of Mexico. The Aztecs spoke that language. And I was surprised, or not surprised, but happy to see that there was another idea in another unrelated native language that is kind of related to this Arangwaki, and that's the Nahuatl Asitlaling, which is water star, and that means a puddle. So today, as you go out after the conference, you'll see lots of Asitlaling puddles, which are those people were water stars. And there's a certain analogy here. Another one, also Arangwaki, is étoile tache blanche sur la glace, so white spots on ice, are also called Arangwaki. Let's see what else. Here's something I've been wondering about. I'll just bring it up and let you think about it. This is, of course, the name for the bur oak, Mishinque misha. And it's often understood literally as big face tree. And I wonder about that translation, and I'll just bring it up today. As you know, or not, maybe as you don't know, I'm not sure. The word inque, this noun final, you can see it right there, inque, means face, but there are instances in Miami, Illinois, that it also means eye. And in Proto-Algonquian, it also means eye. So I wonder if bur oak is actually the big eye tree. You have like grains of yellow corn, unza winque mini. So I think these are eyes rather than faces. It might be, because when I look at the bur oak acorn, that looks like an eye to me. And the bur oak has the largest acorns among the oak trees. And I wonder if this Mishingue misha is actually big eye tree. Rather than, I just can't see big face tree, because I don't know anything about the tree that would make it suggest a face. No, that's an idea. Also, I've found some interesting syntax, some interesting way words are put together, some morphology. In Le Boulanger, under the headword piscine, which means pool, we have warikamiwi. Okay, that literally means hole water, not water hole, and I think that's interesting. That the idea of a water hole is actually hole water. Let's see what else. My favorite topic, aremois. There are curious entries in two of the dictionaries about dogs. And this is an image of Native American dog, pointed ears, right? And in Pinet's dictionary, we find Chien François qui a les oreilles, he strikes out baissé and he puts courbé. So French dog, which has lowered, bent ears. And he gives the French dog name as Papakisha, flat ears. Papak, flat, eshi, ear. Contrasting that, here's a nice French dog, see? And le boulanger, chien français, qui a les oreilles pendantes. The other man says French dog, which has hanging ears, ears that hang. And I thought that was interesting that, they were contrasting what the native dog looked like with what the French dog looked like. And I'm sure they brought French dogs with them. And so they saw the difference, surely. I think this is a very interesting entry. Le boulanger wrote, cri pour appeler les chiens, French, the cry for calling dogs. So if you have a dog, you speak Myaamia, here's how you should call it. Picou, picou. Picou, picou. And David Costa suggested that this comes from piako, piako, which means is the plural form of come, come. And if you said piako to a dog, they might not hear it. But if you said picou, picou, they would hear that. So I think that's a beautiful entry, and it's also an example of the kind of cultural items you find in these dictionaries that you really don't find in other dictionaries. 5 minutes? Really? Okay. Okay, here's another thing about dogs. Referring to the front paws of a dog and the hind paws as hands and feet. I didn't know that. And so we have the front feet, or the front foot is called aneki, hand, his hand. The back foot, akati, his foot, her foot. I thought that was a very interesting thing about dogs. We'll go with this one. Let's see. Last Sunday, for Christians celebrating, it was Palm Sunday, and Palm Sunday was also celebrated by Christianized Kaskaskia, and they called the day Day of the Resins, Shinkuki Akishikomayawi, because they didn't have palms, but they had cedar, and that's what they used. And on that day, people give cedar, red cedar, to each other. Shinkwakwa miritina. And I wonder if this is either a mistake on Le Boulanger's part, or if Shinkuki resins is a clamor form representing Shinkwakuki, red cedars. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, here we go. Let's play. There's a whole list of games they play. Let's play who cries the first. Let's play who runs the best. Let's go hunt together and see who kills the most. Let's play who will swim or stay underwater the longest. Let's play, let's play who can make the most bubbles swimming underwater. I think that's beautiful. Let's play who can shoot their arrows the highest. Let's play who can cut fastest with a knife or with an axe. And finally, let's play who can dig the fastest, who can plant the fastest. Those are some games that people played. Children obviously played these games. And je pense que c'est tout. I think that's everything. Thank you. Thank you.